Today I'll be talking about my philosophy of education beyond the curriculum, cultivating self-sufficient learners through diverse learning styles. Who am I? So my name is Kayla Atkins, and currently I'm a supply teacher with the DCDSB school board. Before supply teaching, I was a tutor since grade 9, and I've tutored over 14 students in math, English, French, and science. And I've also been a ski instructor at Lake Ridge for 7 years, and through these teaching experiences, I've always known that I wanted to be a teacher, but I've also been developing my philosophy of education. Since I've been supply teaching, my philosophy has changed a little bit since last year, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. My philosophy. So what is my philosophy? First of all, I would like to develop students into self-sufficient learners who can solve their own problems in the classroom. I also want to teach my students life lessons through Eisner's implicit curriculum. And lastly, I want to adapt my teaching style to different learning styles in the classroom to meet all needs. My first point is with self-sufficient learners. According to the American Psychology Association, for students to become autonomous learners, they need to feel independence in their education. They need to feel as though they have some sort of responsibility for their own self in the classroom. Barbara McCombs was someone from the American Psychology Association who told a story about when she had to go into classrooms with teachers having a hard time with difficult students. She recalls going into different classrooms, and it was a mess with teachers and the students, but she went into one of the classrooms and all the students knew exactly where they were supposed to be and what they were supposed to do. She found this interesting and asked what the secret was, and the teacher said that they had the students create their own class norms. According to the UNCRC, Article 12, students should have a say in matters that concern them, and they have the right to participate in these matters. So in education, why aren't we letting students participate in matters that concern them more often? My second point is, how does Eisner's implicit curriculum prepare students for real life? So firstly, through extrinsic motivations. So we use extrinsic motivations such as outdoor time or even candy and stuff like this, or free time for motivation for students. And this is a good preparation for real life, as jobs they get in the future may not be very self-motivating. An extrinsic motivator would be something like money for adults in a job. Another thing that's not directly taught in the curriculum is routine. As students work through their school careers, they build routines such as morning routines, having snack after recess, knowing what's coming next. Sometimes the teacher writes their schedule on the board, which makes it easier for them to visualize what's happening throughout the day, and it makes it a lot easier for supply teachers as well coming to the classroom if the students are in a routine and they know what to expect next. Lastly, there's competitiveness that's in the implicit curriculum, and this happens through the grading system mostly, and this is because students will automatically be pitted against one another to compete for higher grades, and this prepares them to compete for future jobs and even admission to university. Lastly, accommodating various learning styles in the classroom for different needs. So I've seen many accommodations in classrooms while I've been supply teaching, and it's opened my eyes to different ways of learning. In one of my classrooms for my placement, one student was being diagnosed with possible ADHD and autism, and I noticed that maybe he was a little bit of a visual learner. So I decided that it was a good idea to suggest to my placement teacher that we put a reward system on his desk, so every time he did well during a period of the day, we would put a check mark, and he would be working towards a reward at the end of the day so he could at least visualize where he's at throughout the day. Another important thing that I believe children need is physical activity, and I think this should be incorporated into the lessons rather than just as a movement break or DPA. According to Yoda 2023, students who do not get their learning styles accommodated misbehave more and learn a lot less. I hope to teach my philosophy of education in my future classroom, and it will create learners who are more engaged, and hopefully I can accommodate their different learning styles to improve my own teaching.